For the sake of battery, because I have to access this phone in order to read this, because it's written on that phone that I need to film this. I'm going to read this and have a commentary somewhere either before or after edited in. This is the Boulè Society and Fascism. When one considers the content and intent of Willie Lynch's infamous speech delivered 1716 to Christian slaveholders on the scientific means to manufacture a slave from a human, in contrast or merely context of the existence and origin of such a group of black anything that are able to survive in this unquestionably violent, race-motivated anarchy called civilization. From the very first non-commissioned officer in the U.S. military, not American, but black, to the most extensive and valuable art collection on earth, at least twice the value of every European's, from royals to Rothschilds, precious scrap of cheap thrills and unimaginative shit, even including their stolen, except for the silver, that's different, and the gold. Okay, I got sidetracked. I'll go back without the parentheses. From the very first NCO in the U.S. military to the most extensive and valuable art collection on earth that white society, using a black-face bankruptcy bar associate, stole in broad daylight. No truly independent, successful, gracious-hearted black has ever survived their white neighbors. Only shills, frauds, and decrepit caricatures of white's version of blacks on earth aren't laid low like Jericho or crushed like Black Wall Street. Borders be damned. International law written in just the right Roman legal system to align with the organic progression of adaptation to the human resistance inherently roused. As in the art of war, the laws projected to protect are devised, implemented, and sustained towards deceiving as many humans on earth that blacks don't deserve anything other than the life they make for themselves. When one considers the Stockholm Syndrome psychology that successful black men, they don't fuck with bitches yet, are self-subjected to, one sees that the projection of success, as its true face, white fascism. And as I write this, I'm eating at a Mexican restaurant displaying the show The Real. So maybe the Boulè has a bitch branch or a brand already, still undisclosed to the public. The ultimate ace up their sleeve is the membership of the likes of Martin Luther King and Clarence Thomas. The appearances, as with Skull and Bones, to pathetic white men who loyally worship the dicks and nuts of regular other men simply because they are in a club no one else is gonna get in, is that the cause is greater than those who are not ever gonna join. Behind that ridiculously idiotic brainwash interpretation of being made into a slave is the reality. Their wealth and power is derived from what white men forfeit because they know since birth they are, as an individual, as a man, utterly, totally, infinitely worthless. Not because they have more money. So it is for the Boulè clan. If blacks or even whites see through their facade, their black face, if I may, they will only serve as scapegoats to the white groups they, like boys, every despicable ounce of pun intended towards these bitch cowards, desperately need to emulate. Of course, the members know I am totally wrong. They only exist because of all the traumas I state. Move, Missouri riots, Baltimore riots, non-stop shooting of blacks, Kenneth Chamberlain Sr., the Tuskegee experiments, the sharecrop farmers. Of course, the members know I'm totally wrong. They are the answer or solution to the rampant global genocidal white psychology, not a component of it. Staying true to my role as the billy goat as well as the cosmic clown, I intend to explain how they are the epitome of Willie Lynch 2.0. To personalize this in the most effective externalized cheapskate style, the Boulè is to humanity as my daughter's mother is to her. Because I could see solutions she was oblivious to, because I knew information and how to share it with Natalia, because I could do more than I did before. Because of these factors, all attributes as alien to her as an identity, she convinced herself that using the system to brutally sever Natalia's contact with not only her father, but an undeniable, unquestioning, fully devoted friend. And because the person Gloria's parents turned her into, a fat, sad, slow, and sorry to say, as educated as a fourth grader, possibly. No joke. Yes, one could say to me as easy as to a black in the US or anywhere on earth, keep it real. If you don't like it, do something about it. She would tell me what to resolve this. She would tell me what to resolve this. Just leave us alone. She says it with what she perceives as a power and her behavior towards Natalia. I am not the focus. The human brain does not work that way. That fat, decrepit cow bitch is seething with hatred towards Natalia, not me. Seeing her daughter actually bond, commune, cling to with excitement. Her father, not like Gloria's life experience. She clung to her coward, idiotic, worthless father because he kept her terrified enough where he mattered. Now, this is what it means to love Amor Roma, her own daughter. It's the same as membership of Boulè. It's the same as members of Boulè. Their group is black, not because they know what whites are up to, and they are devoted to helping their loved ones. Their group is black and male because they seethe with the same kind of love for blacks as Gloria has for Natalia. Together, they will beg and plead when they finally are forced to face what they are doing, not just some distant what they have done. They cry foul. We were only doing what we thought was best. Probably, and this is all but guaranteed, to claim biblical motivation and godly ideals as a criminal defense. It is them echoing their own victimizers' excuses, justification, and rationale. Rather than die in service, they've chosen to seek control to cope with the wounds and shame they haven't the character or nature to reconcile. This is why I use shill to refer to them. They are an empty box, an empty bean, not living. They will die this way. Only someone under their rank spell of pity and sympathy sees them as even trying to do good. Equal, meaning the capacity to think above a slave mentality. Their sham is as easy to see as their true face. Willie Lynch and Gloria, like Willie Lynch and Gloria, they target the child, the weakest. They convince themselves that if they can beat their opponent, they can win the attention they know they deserve, the credit. I am robbing them of all that hope, as Natalia will face her mother and crush the evil heart within that fucker, come what may, in the name of universal justice and eternal dignity. So shall these men of esteem be torn to pieces as so directed. This is how humanity will rediscover what justice is, reviving the essence of life. Abraham rapes off the planet. Reviving the life Abraham rapes off the planet and genocides into legend. Oh my gosh. Sorry. That was longer than I thought anyways. Okay. Like Willie Lynch and Gloria, they target the child, the weakest. They convince themselves if they can beat their opponent, they can win the attention they know they deserve, the credit. I'm robbing them of all that hope. As Natalia will face, I'm robbing them of all that hope. As Natalia will face her mother and crush the evil heart within that fucker, come what may. In the name of universal justice and eternal dignity, so shall these men of esteem be torn to pieces as so directed. This is how humanity will rediscover what justice is. Reviving the essence of life, Abraham rapes off the planet and genocides into legend, is just beyond the ultimate destruction. The shit is on. Get ready to die, you stupid sellout fucks. You reap what you sow, and you'll get what you planted shoved down your own throat till you choke to death on it, and leave the world in peace. Not that you will be in peace, but your death and removal from earth will make the world a better place. That's good enough. I'll just keep going. So, in getting ready to post this video, I was originally going to post it as soon as I got home. And it wasn't fully written as much as it didn't have any of the part referencing Gloria. But I decided to incorporate that into it with the time I had left over because nothing about me is relevant other than the information. If anything about me prevents you from being able to still absorb the information, then that to me is proof that you truly, through some karmic destiny, deserve every fucking thing you get, as do whatever comes out of you later down the line. Because they will only, you are only a premonition of their childhood experience. Because you can only be in that event of procreation and so forth. Now, something really deep in getting ready for this, though, I just watched YouTube. I got into watching Dave Chappelle. So this is what I'm going to do. In my new life role, in, work, same thing. I have very, very, very deep interaction with people. A lot of different people. It takes a lot of energy. But I'm trying to develop a base, a base, like a focal point, using the concept of what I'm learning about all of this stuff. I'm looking for a trinity that I can apply in the context that I'm working. So far, I got Bruce Lee, particularly for his fighting style, which is all about psychology, which I could say it. Dave Chappelle, comedy, but it's all about psychology. And I don't know if I've had that third one filled yet. I think I do. I don't think I'm ready to fully embrace egocentrically that I'm about to do this. So, but in this, and Bruce Lee I already picked. Dave Chappelle I kind of discovered in the process of waiting, watching some videos on the Boulè Society and this and that and this and that, and then there was something about Dave Chappelle speaks on the Illuminati, and the clip, the picture, the thumbnail was looked like a video that I hadn't seen, where it looked like he was sitting on a chair with a gray backdrop, and it was kind of like and it said that Dave Chappelle talks about the Illuminati, and I was thinking, well, that'd be interesting. That would be crazy to hear somebody speak on it directly, verbatim. Like a general like a regular conversation, anybody can speak about the Illuminati. And I make sure that everybody knows that they can talk about it, and they should be talking about it. And they should be talking about it in a negative way, a negative connotation, derogatory, vengeful, kill them. And I've got to get on this too. Skull and Bones, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm saying this out loud. Hey, PRISM, here we go. If I'm going for the Bush family, I have to recognize, don't be stupid. The art of war, don't be stupid. If my words are able to echo, whether in my lifetime or beyond, because the Bush family is going to extend, unless I succeed, beyond my lifetime, at which point my words will still echo within the digital realm with the relevance that continues to be compounded on generation after generation of people allowing them to live and exist in this world. But on that context, you cannot take out the Bush family without taking the Skull and Bones Society, because of the oath that they make with their members and the loyalty that they will share, and the methods and means and the emergency procedures, just like you have an emergency evacuation, the emergency procedures that they have, because they understand that they're dealing with very volatile conditions. as predictable as the human reaction is to these massive traumatic systemic means of manipulation, deeply inherent within the life force is the power to kill and take life. And that's terrifying to recognize. And I don't even understand it. That's why I still would rather let your motherfucking ass kill me than give a fuck about even trying to kill you. I just talk shit. But I know there are other people that feel differently, and they're more. I mean, look at what the troops. If they trained you to be a killer, this is my thing. If they turned you into a killer and gave you the capacity to kill, and you can no longer turn, even if you stop killing or turn the shit off, that's a nice picture that could happen with some people or some kind of shit like that. If you can't turn it off, if you're struggling with it, kill them. Why are you gonna go kill some poor soldier or some poor fucking civilian? Again, soldiers, you can't deny you guys are slaughtering men, you guys are slaughtering women and children, because in all of the wars, all those muscles that you're pushing, you guys really think you're soldiers? Holy shit. But I'm getting distracted from the Boulè society. And the kicker of this is okay, first and foremost, the only way any of these secret societies can exist is because the Abrahamic sects have become the somewhat matrix of the world. It is not that the forces of good of Abraham exist to counterforce these evil. No, they're the same fucking piece of shit. Pure fucking disgusting evil. But with the skull and bones. They got Pancho Villa's skull. I don't know how I'm going to do this. But I swear on my first daughter's grave, Calla Autumn Caffrey, and my father's radioactive ashes, skull and bones, punk motherfucking racist fucking piece of shit pigs with your fucking money. You think you can stop me even though I'm poor with this little voice? Bitch, you gave me the fucking internet, you scum-sucking fucking piece of shit motherfuckers. Wish I was homophobic so I can call you motherfucking even more names. But that kind of shit don't matter to me. But, because I know the truth about that shit. Oh, but you don't. Oh, that's why you use it as a means of manipulation. I thought you use it as a form of initiation. Oh, you use it as a means of manipulation. You guys don't know what it is. Grandmaster is my ass. Oh, my bad. Stay away from my ass, guys. I know I call myself the GOAT, but please don't try to fuck me. Because I'm a GOAT. If you think I'm attractive, you want to buy me a drink. But so the way these secret societies have to operate, it's important to note. The foundational doctrines can be found in Plato's Republic. The Boulè Society fucking exemplifies the tie to the Republic. Mussolini, likewise, is a direct connection. But I want to get into there's more about this Boulè Society and being black, okay? The secret element of it, and I don't know how to do this yet, and that's kind of why my brain is running around. Plus, I'm always like this anyways, that I'm high. But in the Boulè Society's secrecy, because they're super fucking secret. You understand? This is hardcore shit. I have to stand corrected. I'm starting to find out that I had the assumption, the estimation that it was almost a common knowledge in the black community, because I know of certain things in the black community. Well, I guess again there's elements, because in the South, it's very common knowledge about the span of presidents that have black, at least 25% black, and there's something like 14 presidents that are at least 25% black, which makes Obama basically relatively nothing different than any of the motherfuckers that were before. So, but the fact that the Boulè Society is black, secret society, this is deep shit because they were said to be founded in 1904. Fine, even if you accept the official thing. I say Booker T. Washington. I might have said Grover Washington, but I meant Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington has to have something to do with the core foundational principles of fucking the Boulè Society. The way that they have, the Masons have the Hiram fucking character, who's a dualistic character, the reflecting, and I always talk about this, and it's in this shit too, the two pillars, the two guys, the two Hirams, building Solomon's temple, stupid shit like that. The Old and the New Testament, the law and grace, heaven and hell, God and the devil, Gabriel and Lucifer. That's an interesting one. Is it God and the devil or Gabriel and Lucifer? So, Adam and Eve, male and female, sun and the moon, up and down, left and right, so forth and so forth. Oh, a couple powerful things. So, these secret societies, okay, what do they function to do? The entirety of them, because they're all based on Freemasonic. People are confused. The Bible, Freemasonry is not derived from the Bible. The Bible is a Freemason text from beginning to end. Every single fucking character in its original Hebrew is a Masonic fucking context. As such, the entirety of the Bible is a Masonic intent. The intent of Masonry with the G, which represents geometry and the compass and the map, and the 3D effect that they say from 2D to 3D is the plane in which we exist in geometry. Okay. It's creating distance. It's creating distance. Again, I talk about the severing the mother from the child is the core process of creating distance between the identity and the human as well as the being. So, in the secrecy of the Boulè Society, and their deep secrecy, deeper than the Skull and Bones, because people know about the Skull and Bones. There's an even, you can find on YouTube, John Kerry and George Bush were Skull and Bone members. So according to the U.S. Supreme Court, a corporation is a person. The Skull and Bones is a corporation, just like the Holy See and the Crown and Freemasons and the City of London and Washington, D.C. So, as a corporation, it's a single person. So only one person ran for the president in 2004. So, Skull and Bones is super secret. The Boulè Society, nobody even knows about it. Because it'd be fucked up if you knew about the Boulè Society and found out that fucking Obama was in it. Huh? What? So, and then you find out Trayvon Martin's dad was in it. And then you found out that Reverend Jesse Jackson and Thomas and Martin Luther King were in it. But you find out, too, that people like Vernon Jones were not in it. You find out who wasn't in it. Malcolm X was not in it. Marcus Garvey was not in it. Martin Luther King was in it, and yes, he did die, because if you do notice, he started to do more what Vernon Johns did, and that was actually don't preach racial lines. Because if you notice, black preachers only preach Christianity to black people. They don't preach Christianity on white issues. That's a no-no. That's what gets you in trouble. That's what gets you Martin Luther King, when you start to do that kind of word association. Stop it. AME Church says the LAPD ain't nothing different than the KKK. And the police chief and the fire department chief, the hosing them down, fire department chief, hosing them down, fire department chief, stood against him and said, well, we're not going to come visit your church for community events anymore. Fuck you niggers. And that motherfucker apologized. So, important to note, the secrecy. There are two cultural identities in America for black people that equate to secrecy. And this is critical, because this is the legacy that's at stake. One is the Boulè society. Fabulously rich men with massively, wonderfully great education and vocabulary skills and class and property and a knowledge to share amongst the youth and the struggling youth of today on how they too can follow the path towards success. They won't tell them exactly the path that they took, but they lead them down a path that's relatively close and that they were on at one point, so it somehow it does calculatively end where they're at somehow, sensibly, if you work hard and try. The other one goes all the way back to the slave days. And that first one is only 1904 according to their own records. The other one goes way back 500 fucking years to when black people couldn't speak the same language, couldn't talk, weren't allowed to sing, when it was still too dangerous to sing. And Dave Chappelle taught me this in his thing. They used to write their songs so they could sing them with their mouth shut. And he makes a little joke. Who's that nigga singing today? Who that nigga singing? That's deep shit. And I don't know exactly how to turn that into a nuclear bomb so that I can, because my Jamaican poems ain't getting the press that I was hoping they were going to get. They haven't got the exposure either, but that's okay. While they're in the oven baking, this is 2015, I still got to get hard at work at ending nuclear weapons, so I've got to get an army amassed quickly. I got to start working on blacks in America as a whole, because it's going to be difficult for them to give a fuck about actually what's going on in Jamaica. No association. So I got to do something quickly, and I've got to use the context of the secrecy that slaves had to do to maintain an identity versus the Boulè society's manufacture of a fake black identity. A white black identity. I'm coming for you, motherfuckers.